So there's nothing better than waking up and seeing that Apple has announced the new product. And this time it was the M2 Macbook Pro. And the part I'm excited about actually is not the new M2 Pro or Max chip. It's actually a new hardware they've updated that has not been done for the past decade. So let's find out if this new hardware is worth updating from last year's model, or maybe you've been on the fence about buying a MacBook Pro. Will this new hardware make it worth it for you? First off, I want to make sure you know I'm not disappointed with the new M2 chips. I actually think Apple did the right thing just updating some basic hardware. This is very similar to if you're looking to buy a PC, you go to Dell.com and you look up the XPS laptop. Usually from year to year, it's just a simple GPU or CPU upgrade, maybe change a little bit in the RAM, and that's the way it should be. I don't think companies need to reinvent the wheel every year or come out with some big extravagant updates. I don't think that's practical. And I think as consumers, we can be happy with just gradual updates to performance. And a thumbs up, it's still the same price as the prior version. But now you get better performance, better battery life. It's just an all-around better experience for us as a consumer. But there's one part that got an update that hasn't seen an update for the past decade. And where I noticed it was where they show all the features of the M2 MacBook Pro. Let me know if you can see it on the screen. And the winner is Wi-Fi 6E. Why is Wi-Fi 6E so important? Well, for one reason, now you get an additional frequency. So before you may have only had 2 frequencies, but now you get 3. What that does is for us with several devices, especially if you're a family with lots of children who have smartphones, HomePod, smart TVs, almost everything connects to Wi-Fi nowadays, it feels like. And when you have too many devices on your Wi-Fi, it can bog down that system and you get less performance for your internet. So by adding a 3rd frequency, you're gonna get better performance and less congestion on your network. And not only that, this 3rd frequency is dramatically faster. Speaking of which, I've been getting a lot of ads about the Netgear Orbee that has a 3 mesh system that supports Wi-Fi 6E. And I'm like, man, that timing is perfect, because now with these Wi-Fi 6E devices, I want to get this Netgear Orbee. So the first device from Apple that supported Wi-Fi 6E was the iPad Pro M2. Now we have the new MacBook Pro that supports Wi-Fi 6E, and I assume in the fall when the new iPhone comes out, that will support Wi-Fi 6E. So we're starting to see more devices support this new Wi-Fi. What that means is now we can take advantage of these speeds and this additional frequency and create a better environment. My biggest struggle with loving tech is that I usually find myself sitting around a computer most days, and by the time I finish work, I'm usually unmotivated to want to go out and live an active lifestyle. So our sponsor for this video has helped me over the past couple years be more active and get more out of my afternoons, and that is Bucked Up pre-workouts. If you're looking for extra motivation, or maybe while you're working out, you want to be able to focus in more during the activity, I've had Bucked Up pre-workout help me a ton in this situation. You can get 20% off the whole entire store by using Jordan Q Clark 20. So take a screenshot and go to that later. So one thing I'm looking at is a NAS system. And what that does is it allows you to access your video, pictures, and files from the internet without having to store them on your local drive on your computer. That solves a lot of issues, because if I ran out of storage on my laptop, there's no way for me to upgrade this. So what I pay for is what I get. But if I can access my files quickly from a NAS system or from a cloud storage, then there's less need to have several terabytes on my laptop. Part I need to research is, will this new Wi-Fi 6E produce read and write speeds fast enough where I could edit video, for example, from the Wi-Fi and access those files? Another thing I need to think about is probably the current NAS systems may not support Wi-Fi 6E, so that may be technology needs to be developed and implemented into these different companies like Synology. While thinking about this, it got me thinking about one other product that Apple used to have. And that product, I gotta look it up again because I've actually never used this product. But in the past, Apple had a product called Airport Time Capsule. You could access 2 terabytes or 3 terabytes of storage through your internet. So I think the future where storage is going to be cloud-based and remote storage. And I think Wi-Fi 6E might be getting us closer to quick enough cloud storage where you could edit videos, access photos, keep everything on the cloud. That way you could access it from anywhere in your house without having to be limited to what computer you're working on. So for instance, if I'm working on a project upstairs on my MacBook Pro, but then I need to go down and access it on my wife's computer, I could do that remotely by using a NAS system. And maybe I have another office somewhere else in the house that has a more dedicated high performance computer. I could keep everything on the network on this NAS system, but access it from any other computer. And that won't ruin any workflows that I have. So I think the flexibility of keeping everything on a cloud storage that you can access from any device will be the future and will be a
game changer.
So I'm sorry about my rants, but I think it's interesting, and I think this Wi-Fi 6E will be a big difference for how we use our devices in our day-to-day use. And to go back to my question at the beginning, should you update to the new Wi-Fi 6E MacBook Pro? And I think if you already have a MacBook, last iteration of it, I would keep it. I don't think there's enough devices taking full advantage of the Wi-Fi 6E to make it worth it, and MacBook Pros are expensive. If you do not have a MacBook Pro and you've been on the fence about getting one, I think this is the year to get them. Wi-Fi 6E will future-proof your MacBook Pro, and I don't think they're going to come out with any big dramatic differences over the next couple of years. So I think this is a perfect time to buy the MacBook Pro. I'll actually link down below to my configuration of what my current MacBook Pro is. Obviously now it's a little bit better, the new M2 chips. Make sure to comment down below if you think the future is cloud storage, and if you think it will get to the point where it's fast enough where you could keep everything off of your hard drive and just run everything remotely. And if you want to watch a video about how your iPad Pro can make your Mac experience so much better, more productive, and change it completely, make sure to watch this video right here. All right, until the next video, we'll see ya. Bye-bye.